I'm back for the coconut episode part 2. I'm really new to making videos and I am just using my iPhone, and I definitely don't have like tech skills, and that's been a big reason why I've put off starting the channel. For a really long time I wanted to share and make videos for ages, and I'm just doing it. So I'm just starting with what I have, which before my friend was holding my phone, and now I've just she actually had to leave. That's why the video got cut short before. And so I've just fashioned up some rubber bands around my phone, and I've got it attached to a jar on top of another jar, leaning up against something. So it's very makeshift DIY. Yeah, which is really an interesting process, to be honest, because you know, in my mind I want to be really professional and share what I have with people, but at the same time it's like start where you are with what you have, and so this is it. So let's just jump straight back in. I don't know how to edit, I don't know how to chop that video with this video, so you're just getting DIY to start with. But yeah, like, it's also an invitation if you're out there and you're watching these videos and you want to help me, even just with a few little tips here and there, please reach out. Very accessible on Instagram, at Vibrant Living, and yeah, and I do really appreciate it, and I'd really like to learn. But yeah, so here we are with our coconut. So before, you saw I tried to open it with chopping. Doesn't always work, and it actually doesn't always matter. So if you've got a nice hole in your coconut, you can actually just use a spoon and get the meat out like that, and that works really well. So I should have had a bowl ready, but I don't. So I'm just going to get out the coconut meat. So in this video I particularly wanted to show you how a really incredible recipe for a Brazil nut and coconut milk, which is just really, really amazing. So this particular coconut, the meat's really soft and quite like jelly. I don't know if you can see it that well from over there. I don't always use this because it can be quite hard to get the wood off. And as this is a real-time video and my friend isn't here anymore, it's probably going to be a bit longer and a little bit more of a journey video, so bear with me. Sometimes the longer videos are kind of nice anyway. So I'm just using a spoon. I also have another tool that I really like using, which is the Vitamix spatula. It's a long, skinny, kind of hard spatula that's just really perfect for getting in under the coconut meat and opening and getting the meat out. I don't have that here with me at the moment. So there's all the coconut meat. I don't have that luxury of here's one I prepared earlier. So yeah, we're just gonna flow with it, I reckon. So there's the coconuts. You can't recycle or compost these, so you just have to put them straight in the bin. They have been dipped in a chemical in order to stay fresh because they come from Thailand. So just bear that in mind. Just chuck them straight in the rubbish bin. So I might show you, okay, so to make a nut milk, the basis of a nut milk is nuts and water. However, it will change your life when you make your nut milks on coconut water. First preference is, of course, the fresh young coconuts, like the ones we just opened, and second preference is this one, or any other pasteurized coconut, long life coconut water that you can buy from the stores. This one is available at the supermarkets here in Australia, and it's the Raw Sea brand, which is actually Pete Evans's brand, who is big on chemical free and organic. So I really like his coconuts and his company, and I like this particular coconut water. It's also really affordable, and it's a really good top up as well. So say in today's recipe, we've got you know, a couple of cups of fresh young coconut water, and depending on my ratios, I might actually add a bit of this as well. So today I'm making Brazil nut. I've got a cup of soaked Brazil nuts in there, and I'm not actually sure how much water's in here, so I'm just going to pour it out so that I can measure it. So Brazil nuts are just like an amazing nut. I really, really love them. I use them a lot. For me, they're a staple. The main benefit that I know off the top of my head is that they're very high in selenium, and selenium isn't occurring in that many things, so Brazil nuts is a really great source of that particular mineral. I really like the taste. I feel good on them, so yeah, I like to include Brazil nuts in my life. So I've got a cup of soaked Brazil nuts, and I'm going to chuck in the Vitamix, trusty old friend, and then I'm just going to measure out the coconut water from the 2 coconuts. So that's 2 cups, and there's a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I like to do a ratio of 1 cup of nuts to 4 cups of coconut water. And why I really like using the coconut water is because it's already naturally sweet and naturally salty, and it has a lot of flavor, it's super hydrating, and it's just like incredible. If you choose to make your nut milk of water, you tend to need to add a little bit of salt and a little bit of sweetener, whether that's a date or a bit of maple syrup or any other sweetener that you like. So I'm going to just make this up to another 2 cups. So we've got 4 cups of liquid to 1 cup of nuts. And then I'm going to blend on high. So I like to strain this with a nut milk bag. These are a really, really handy tool. So I just pour it straight through the nut milk bag. Hopefully it fits in this bowl. And then if you've never made nut milk before, you just grab the top, make sure that nothing comes out. You can twist it around a little bit if you want. And use your other hand to lightly squeeze the milk out of the nuts. It's quite a miraculous process, really. Nothing compares to making your own nut milks. Like, the flavor is just like off the charts compared to anything that you can buy. I know there are some small kind of artisan businesses that do make really beautiful nut milks, so they're not included in what I just said. I'm just talking about the mass-produced, pasteurized, long-life nut milks that have like 1% nuts in them. I'm not a fan personally. They just don't have a lot of flavor or much life. Whereas this, on the other hand, is a living food. You know, there's sprouted Brazil nuts in there, activated, and beautiful fresh coconut water. And so there we have it. Beautiful Brazil nut milk. And then when you have the pulp left over, you can actually use that in different recipes. I like to make raw vegan brownies, which are really yummy. Otherwise, you can use them in any kind of, like if you're making burgers or crackers or anything like that, you can just pop that in your mix. And if you don't have a project in mind, you can also freeze it, or you can put it on a dehydrator sheet and dehydrate it for later, and it basically becomes a flour. So I'm not sure if you'll be able to see that on the camera, but most people have seen what nut milk pulp looks like, and just save that for later. Then I just pour that straight back in the Vitamix. That's actually a like beautiful drink in its own right now, that can be used in a recipe or just drunk like that. But what we're going to do today is take that next level with our coconuts. So I've just put the coconut meat into a bowl of water, and that's to try and get some of the bits of the husk from the coconut off. And then I take piece by piece and I just lightly use the knife to kind of scrape off any bits of husk I can. And if it doesn't come off, then I fillet across the surface of the coconut just to get those bits of the meat that have stuck on, not the meat, the wood, the coconut husk and fibre. So I'm just going to pop that straight in my measuring jug. And what I like to do is around about a cup of young coconut meat with a cup of nuts. And this is like seriously one of the most just nourishing, really balancing, beautiful drinks that you can drink on its own or you can use in a recipe. It's also a really great thing if you're doing any kind of juice fast or like a liquid fast or a broth fast, smoothie fast, anything like that, is to actually have a nut milk. And the nut milk is a really nice thing to have at night, just to kind of soothe the nervous system and get you all nice and mellowed out and ready for bed, soothe any, emotional woes of the day. And I'm actually juice fasting at the moment. So I'm on day 4 and I'm intermittent fasting. So I'm intermittent fasting for 20 to 21 hours a day. And then I'm having a spicy lemonade, which I'm going to make a video soon on how to make that beautiful drink. And then I have the detox pudding, which is another video I want to make for you guys, because that just is like a really healing fiber pudding supplement that goes in and scoops up everything your body's releasing and helps you eliminate it. How much have I got there? Only about half a cup at the moment. One of those coconuts had the flesh of the coconut was really soft, and which is such a joy to eat and a little bit more painful to prepare into milk, just because you have to go through each little piece. But yeah, so I'm fasting and then having freshly squeezed orange juice, and then I have been making either lemon ginger blast or just like a really dense green juice with as many greens as possible. I've also been making gorilla milk, which is an amazing, life-changing, epic drink that was created by Lou Corona, who's one of my mentors. It's just, that drink is like next level, epic health, life-giving. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave that bit of coconut for now and just use what we have here. So I'm just under a cup, probably closer to half a cup. Just going to pop that in there. I'm also going to add a couple, hopefully this doesn't look too messy. I'm also going to add some cinnamon today, just like a few shakes of cinnamon. And a little bit of salt. It doesn't need it, it's totally not necessary, but I've got this really beautiful magnesium enriched salt, so it's quite low in sodium and really high in ionic magnesium. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that in there just to bring out the flavour. Salt brings out both sweetness and savoury saltiness, so putting that in there. And then I also like to add the Puradyme Liyf Essentials. This takes it to a whole other level. This is a product from Lou Corona's company, and I'm also an affiliate with them. I really love their products. They are very amazing. So this is like an amino acid complex that's made from tocotrienols, which is from basically a rice bran. So it's a whole food product. It's a living food. And it just adds a bit of protein and a bit of it's actually, amino acids are the building blocks of protein. So it helps your body build proteins and repair and regenerate, and it's not as intense and dense as a regular protein supplement. So I'm going to add like a nice big heaping spoon. I might go 2 in there, and just blend it up again. Incredible Brazil and young coconut, and the Liyf Essentials milk. And depending on how much coconut you add will affect the thickness. So if you want it to be more of a creamy sort of smoothie, just add a bit more coconut meat. This is quite a light one today, but yeah, it's such a beautiful drink. I really hope that you try it, or even just try a component of it. Just making Brazil nut milk, or subbing out the water for coconut water or the fresh young coconuts the next time you make your nut milk. It's a game changer. The coconut water in nut milk is a game changer. And then yeah, so just play around with, make the whole recipe if you have all the ingredients. Otherwise, just play around with any of those components and you will make something very special. Thank you for joining me today. See you later, next time.